everyone, and welcome to another episode of From No Crypto to No Crypto. I'm your host, the Crypto Coach, Blockchain Wayne. Today we're joined by Eugene and Alex from Palma. Guys, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank
Alex?
you, man.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely. Great to know, great to have you guys here. Want to learn more about what you're doing, Alex, and your background. Eugene, you've been on the podcast before, right? You're no stranger. We've talked a few times. You've built some really great products in the past, and we're going to talk about that now. So, starting with you, Eugene, maybe tell us a little bit about kind of your background. So, those that may not have seen the prior podcast, kind of your background, what you've done in the past, and then what you're currently doing at Palma, like what your role is at Palma.
Cool. Yes, I have been full-time in crypto, as you know, since 2017. I was the founder of EOS Stripe, original validator for EOS blockchain. We later became validators for other proof of stake chains like, Telos, Theo, near a number of other chains. It's kind of our bread and butter, so to speak. But my expertise also been in building wallets, starting with Stripe Wallet, which was self-custody, and later on, built number of wallets, both custodial and non-custodial. My prior experience starting Palma was with Cinca Wallet, which was a wallet for Latin America specifically. And what I find out that those regions like Latin America and Africa, they have their own challenges when it comes to payments and wallets. Uh, Wallets built for Western world don't necessarily work or translate well into regions like Africa. I met Alex earlier this year. It started with a conversation about unique challenges with wallets and payments in Africa, and Palma kind of came out as as a solution to those problems. So we both brainstormed and came up with that idea. So I co-founded with Alex Palma Wallet. I've been working on it nonstop for the last several months. We had a soft launch in June, and just this month in August, we really started onboarding new users and really marketing it.
Nice. Definitely want to jump in, learn more about Palma. Before we do that, Alex, man, can you tell us a little bit about your background? I mean, Eugene has told us the origin story, how you guys met for Palma, but let's back up. Kind of what's your experience, what you've done in the past before crypto, and what got you into crypto.
Oh wow, thank you. My name is Alex once again. So I think how I moved was really quite unique because I actually started out being a developer at first, blockchain developer, software developer. Then I grew to really being a CTO. I worked for a couple Nigerian startups. But then I would say I really didn't like being a developer as much. So then I really had to move because for me, I think that I could actually offer more to the company aside just writing code. I'm a really smart guy, so I had really more of a flair for really seeing companies grow. For me, I think I had to really understand the entire process of a startup and watch it grow entirely. So um, I actually wanted more than just being the guy writing the code. So I actually got off my job, and I would say that I've always been fascinated by how tech basically can always solve like everyday problems. So I grew up in Nigeria where financial access has actually been very limited. So I saw like how it could be challenging for the average Nigerian user, both locally and even people who like want to send money abroad. And I think that is really what pushed me into building like solutions like Palma Wallet exactly. So it's really not just to innovate because I think to win over here in Nigeria, to win in Africa, it's really more uh how can we bridge the gap between scalable solutions and businesses that are quite informal in the sense that over here a lot of businesses here in Nigeria are not certified or are not formal in a way. So they are known as businesses that are informal. So anyone who could basically bridge the gap between informal businesses and scalable solutions is gonna make it's gonna fly. So basically, I knew that, and I said to myself, you know what? I think I want to be that guy who is able to bridge the gap. You know, so I think really that is really what inspired me to really start out this project.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love what you said there, and I think, and we're going to kind of touch on it here. And I got a question coming up for Eugene in a little bit around AI,
Yeah,
but I think being with your background of coding, of being a CTO, and you want to play a bigger role, you can play that bigger role and leverage AI if you want to be efficient with coding. But and you both have given a unique perspective because most of us do think a wallet's a wallet, right? Like you
Mhm.
can add different features, maybe for the broad user all across the world. But most of us don't think about unique challenges that certain regions may have, whether that's how the crypto is utilized, how the on ramp and off ramp actually works, and um, yeah, just really, it's something that I guess we don't think of, and I think most of the crypto industry thinks a wallet's a wallet. It doesn't matter what you can add different features, you can add different perks and benefits in general, but never thought about it being like, and not necessarily region specific. I mean, across this is not just for Nigeria, right? It's across Africa, and there's a lot of different challenges even within each country there. So, great stuff, guys. So, um,
yeah,
back to you, Eugene. You kind of told us how you linked up with Alex and you guys formed Palma. But
Mhm.
back to Cinco, were there any more learnings from Cinco? Because if I remember right, Cinco was a custodial wallet, right? Or is a custodial
It
wallet.
was custodial wallet. Yes, yes.
Okay. And you're building, like, you guys are building Palma differently, right?
What we're building, it's kind of a unique solution. It's not. It's hard to call it. It's not really a custodial wallet, and it's not 100% self custody. It's a hybrid model where we make it very lightweight. The wallet still has a private key on it, but it's not. We actually use FIO for that.
Okay.
Just to be, it's a FIO private key, but it's not. mm, Connected to any crypto wallet. So it is used for uh, encrypted peer-to-peer communication with a server because it's using server public key and the client private key to generate a shared secret, and all operations on wallets like sending transactions, etc., is done using that private communication channel. And having that private key is a proof of ownership, so to speak, by a client. At the same time, public keys for private keys for Ethereum, Tron, and number of other wallets that we support is encrypted and sharded in a Amazon Secrets Vault storage.
Okay.
So it's all the whole architecture is done in a very secure way, and this allows us to kind of minimize risk for client losing a phone, because I had this experience prior with Stripe phone when a user would, which was full self-custody, user would delete an application or lose his phone, and there was no way to recover it, right? So I kind of took care of all of those problems and issues, including backup of private key. I use a lot of FIO technologies underground, under the hood, actually, for that encryption. And what makes Palma Wallet unique comparing to other wallets? We are using offline payments, which basically allows you to send stablecoin payment using Nokia phone effectively. So it's going live in September. I'm working on it right now. Um, what it is, there's a system called M-Pesa, which is popular in Kenya. They have 27 million users. And what they do, it's basically a mobile bank account for anybody to send a mobile payment. We're building a similar system, but it is backed by modern stablecoin infrastructure. This means that users will be able to open an account, send a transfer to another phone number, or we can use Fiat handle for that as well. Um, using stablecoin, and there is no internet connection required.
Hmm.
So that's one of the unique features we're working on and planning to release in the short term. But right now, mobile wallet Palma is available on both stores. It supports USDT and USDC on main chains, Ethereum and Tron. Solana support is coming up in September. So that's our short-term plans.
Gotcha. Any Bitcoin support?
Bitcoin is definitely coming. Yes, Bitcoin is coming. That's actually one of the points Alex made. I made it focus on stablecoin
Right.
first, but Bitcoin is coming. Definitely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it makes
Can I,
sense. I
can
mean,
I just add to that?
I think it's more. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, yeah. So I would say that the this thing is not really so the application is not really the solution per se. So it's really more of like the channel to whatever solution we are bringing, which is actually financial access. So financial access is actually our solution or whatever it is that we are bringing. So the application, like it or not, is really more of like the channel that leads to our solution, which is financial access. Like I said, we build it for Africa, um, for Africans in general. So those people who do not use iPhones or Android devices, even with feature phone like a small Nokia phone, you could actually have like access to this solution. So I wanted to just clarify that the app is not really the solution; it's really more of financial access. So that is the entirety of Palma Wallet financial access for everyone included.
Nice, nice. Now, Alex, one of the
Yeah,
questions I wanted to ask you, being from Nigeria, you still live in Nigeria now?
yeah, I do.
What I mean, we talked about, you guys have both mentioned some of the challenges of using, wallets and solving special needs for the region. What have been some of the challenges where you live in terms of utilizing cryptocurrency for either investing or also kind of like, like a payment method, right? Because you mentioned there's a lot that needs to be utilized. Most people, a lot of people around the world think of crypto as mainly investing, right? But obviously, it's a payment system, and in the case where you have people that live abroad, it's a way for them to send money back home. So, what challenges have you seen that have existed, from where you live?
So that's actually a good question. I'll say the biggest challenge when it comes to crypto in Africa or in Nigeria is basically it's always been a trust issue because of the rise of like fraud in general, financial fraud using like cryptocurrency. So a whole lot of Nigerians don't really trust crypto as much. So it's really okay. How do I convince the average Nigerian farmer or the average Nigerian trader or the average Nigerian school student to use this application? So it's because over here in Africa, there's actually been a lot of financial fraud using like blockchain and crypto in general. So I think our first task um, was always okay. How do we convince people that this is actually for real and this is not a fraud? So I think if we can basically bypass that whole process, then I think that we're actually good to go. So it's really um, letting people know that this is actually for real. You know, then, secondly, a lot of people over here do not know how to use. So I would say people involved in tech over here in Africa is still quite low. So it's how do we? So it's why I said it's why I spoke about access in general. So now we have a lot of work to do as regards to not just even letting people know that this is for real, but just teaching people how to use these things. Because like I said, most people over here in Africa are not really much tech inclined as well. So if we could actually bypass these two processes, then I don't think we should have a problem.
Right. Would you definitely say that? With the challenges you mentioned, both in the misconceptions, because I definitely understand that. I mean, we see it in other countries too, where it's like crypto has been used. Scams have used crypto in the past, recently, and that's what they
Yeah.
think of. And then, like you mentioned, number of tech users. Do you think education is going to play a big part in your guys' success of getting Palm out there, like educating others as to
Yeah, of
what
course, of
is,
course,
how it
man, of
works?
course. Of course. So it's really so yeah, just doing all we can to really just letting people know how to basically how to use these things in a safe way. I think it's also really important that we let people know how to use crypto in a safe way. Um yeah, so like I said earlier, um educating people is actually a huge step to take basically when it comes to letting people um use our product in general or even crypto in general, because I would say so. I think another thing again that I also forgot to mention is also um regulations. Regulations, yeah. So because over here in Africa that we actually have really strict regulations, like I said, because of the financial fraud that has actually occurred in the past. So it's if we could really know how to use our app in. So can you still hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
Alex.
Uh, so yeah, so if we could basically just bypass these three steps, then I don't think we should have a problem in general.
Mhm. Yeah, one of the comments I would like to make in Africa, slow internet connection, as you can see with Alex. Also, banks are not crypto friendly. There is not really crypto friendly regulation. So what you see is a lot of peer to peer transactions. If I want to buy crypto, I have USDT, you have Ethereum. I trade with you directly. So there are a lot of peer-to-peer markets bypassing banking infrastructure completely. So we have that in mind also, but our long-term goal is to build those bridges with traditional banking system or some partners in that region to establish that fiat to crypto bridges. We currently have fiat to crypto integration, but it's not really a easy off ramp yet. But we are working on solutions.
Nice. Yeah, that's important, and that's something. Again, I don't think most of the world realizes. I've got a few colleagues from around different places in Africa. One of them being in Nigeria, and he's told me a lot and taught me a lot about the peer-to-peer systems that are out there. Like I think didn't it, doesn't even Binance have like a peer-to-peer?
Binance has one. Yeah, there are a number of solutions that exist.
Yeah, and to where you're basically exchanging like buying or selling crypto from individuals. You're not going to an exchange and buying it
Right.
off a trading book. You're trading it, with someone else. And yeah, so that's something that has it brings its own unique challenges, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a trust, it's reputation. So all of those systems have a certain level of trust. There are, certain individuals who do this as a business,
Mm,
and you can see the rank, number of transactions they have done, and the reputation in the system. So people prefer to deal with reputable partners who have done like thousands of transactions and have a good reviews, right? So we plan to build such system as well when we gain, our goal is to reach 50K users by end of this year, and that would be a good milestone to get to peer-to-peer market
nice,
space.
nice. Yeah, definitely. So, as we, kind of take a step back from kind of where we're at now and look back at the building of Palma, because Eugene, I wanted to highlight something that you mentioned to me, and Alex, especially with your tech background too. You've experienced it, I'm sure too. But Eugene, you've built other wallets. You mentioned to me how has the process been building Palma? Now it sounds like you got some different things that go into Palma that weren't in other wallets, but you mentioned to me about how much more efficient you were able to build it with AI. So can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about
So AI have really changed the whole landscape. Like traditionally, if it was 5 years ago, I would need to hire a development team. I would need to get some, funding in place, my own money, or some angel investors to fund that development. It would probably take close to 6 months of development in a team, at least two, three developers to build the wallet, to build all the backend, right? Instead, using AI and mostly cloud AI, I have built mobile application and entire backend stack in something around like 3 months time, and it's the productivity has been amazing. I mean, obviously you have to understand what you're doing,
Right.
you have to keep security in mind, you have to do multiple iterations, you have to test everything, but it's like having a team of developers you don't have to pay for,
Right.
that's really a game changer, and that's what made um, Palma reality. It's fully AI developed with human supervision. It has AI support agent inside,
Hmm.
which means it's able to. It has a knowledge base. It has a language model behind it. It can answer questions, related to its functionality, and just user questions 24/7 without any user, customer support.
Nice. I think that's important, right? I mean, and you said some key things. People think, oh, AI is just going to replace everybody, and not so. You still have to know what you're doing, right? AI can have solution hallucination.
It's a tool. It's definitely not a replacement.
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing with AI, you're gonna shoot yourself in the leg. And
Yeah.
and we have seen plenty of examples of that. Right.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And so that's important to know. So, Alex, coming with your tech background, what have you seen too, either before Palma or also since working with Eugene on Palma, as far as your experience with AI?
Oh man, so I'll say that the entire process basically has been challenging, and they've been like good size as well, like a lot of good size really working on a project. I think we're basically seeing how people basically react and use the product. I think it has been like a huge plus basically. I think seeing early users has been incredible for the product. So
Yeah.
because I think
Yeah. Definitely.
Nigerians are quite
Um,
intelligent people.
and that's kind of
So
one
I
of the things I
think
wanted to put across, right?
once
People think,
people got to know that
you
okay,
hear
like
all
this is
different
something
perspective and
that can
takes
be
on
faster,
AI in
cheaper,
terms of, oh, it's bad.
for us to
For
use,
people, it's
then I
really
think
good. It's really just a
the we
tool,
had
right?
like a
It's
really
the
good
computer at one point became
what's
a
the
tool
word?
for people, right? So,
Yeah.
So we
you
had
The
know,
good
computer is not a
feedback
replacement
basically
right.
for
from users.
people,
So
and same
I
goes
think
for
so for
AI.
us,
I think
I think
companies
for
will
us
come to
it's not
realize
really
it
about
after
building
they
another like application or
make,
wallets in general. It's basically about
their
laying the
share of
foundation
mistakes.
for
Yeah.
basically
Yep. Definitely.
fintech
Definitely.
infra basically that can
Yeah.
scale
So that was something I
across
want to touch
Africa.
on. I know it's
So
not
it's I think the
necessarily
process
crypto
has
related,
been a
but
mix
crypto
of
and
basically
AI, there's
learning,
this great intersection that's
adopting
going
or
to
adapting,
lead
basically
to a lot of great
innovating in
development, a
general.
lot of things. And you're
Um,
right. Like we would
every
not be
step
talking about Palmer right now if
basically
we
I
didn't
would
have AI.
say
You'd
has
probably be
made Palma
pitching to
stronger.
investors right now, trying
Yeah,
to
so I
Yeah.
think
fund a
really that
raise,
is my
right?
take,
And
but
then having
so
to give
far it
away a
has
big
really
part of
been
the
really more of like
company
a fun process,
just
like a
for
fun
it needs to be
and
done. You
joyride
just
so
need the
far.
resources to do it, and so that's important now. And I wanted to talk about that because I actually just mentioned that on a space I was on earlier on X, where it was kind of like that. We don't know what's possible, but AI is definitely going to help us because when you have a system that allows you to be more efficient, then creativity can take front stage. Or in your case, tackling the more important issues like regulation, compliance, and that nation, that region's needs. Instead of I've got to code out this wallet, I've got to get
Mhm.
the basics built. So yeah, great talk there. Great stuff on AI. So you kind of mentioned a little bit about what the future looks like for Palma, what your goal is in terms of users. So what's next? Like what's coming up next for Palma? You mentioned you touched on something in September that's coming.
Yeah. So in September we have a offline kind of like M-Pesa system going live, which will be USSD application. If you remember flashback in 90s when you had a Nokia phone, you dial a short code and you get a menu, right? Kind of like a create account, send transfer, check balance, basic functionality available for low-tech phones, which will be Palma offline payment system going live in September. Via it will be interesting to see dynamics how many users we have using this offline system versus smartphone. It will be interesting dynamics that we will watch and monitor. We are currently growing our user base. I'm in the early stages talking to VCs. We are raising pre-seed money. I believe we will be profitable next year based on very conservative projections. And so we are just looking for a partner, angel investor to join us, help us scale it faster and get to profitability faster. But as I see a lot of potential in Africa, and not just in Africa, right? We are available globally in Latin America as well, so we will grow.
Nice,
Will definitely grow.
nice. And I would say, I mean, back to our touch on how you were able to get the product out there without before you seek investment. Obviously, it's going to take some marketing efforts and funds to get it out to the market. But that also adds another level of legitimacy because you see companies now can have their MVP ready before they go to fundraise instead of going to fundraise and say, "I need money because we want to build this."
Mhm.
Built it, so you've got it. You know, you can now focus on getting it out to market.
Yeah, it just puts us in a stronger position when we have a market live, available product already in the market. We have significant user base. We have revenue, right? So it puts you in a different position when you're talking to VCs.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Alex, I know you're having some connection problems there. Anything you want to add in? Oh,
Yeah, that's one of the challenges, in Africa with connection. I actually am planning to visit Nigeria myself because you need to understand local market and the product you're building. And
right.
my goal is to try to use Palma for payments, and and see where we fall short and where we can do better.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So Eugene, I guess Alex may or may not be able to join us back again, but let's go ahead and get wrap up. It's been a great conversation. Love hearing about what you guys are doing. I mean, I always love talking to people and with projects that are building real solutions instead of I'm launching another token, I'm launching another this or that, and even wallets. Right? There's a lot of wallets, but when you dig in and see why build another wallet, I think you've definitely answered that question, and Alex as well. So, can you share with everyone where they can find out more about Palma and also start using it?
Yeah, best place to start is our website, palmawallet.com. It's one word, Palma Wallet. So Palma is, just to clarify, it's like palm, right? Palm tree. But Palma is more like an African pronunciation.
Gotcha.
Um, and there is a link. It's available on both App Store and Play Store. So you can go check it out and download it.
All right. Yeah. Thanks so much. So as we start to wrap up, Alex, thanks for jumping back in. We were just talking about
Yeah,
some problems, and Eugene already said where we can find out more about Palma. Start following. I have all that information in the description of the podcast as well too. So make sure to check the summary. But
yeah.
any final words from you, Alex, on anything about Palma, or what you see plans for Palma in the future and what people should be aware of?
Uh, okay, yeah. So thank you for that question. So I'll say that crypto should be in Africa now, like not tomorrow now, because I think that Africa has really more of a massive market, untapped market basically. Africa basically has the world's youngest population. I think about an age of maybe 19 upwards, and I'll see over here in Africa there's basically really more of a high fintech So we don't have, so I think over about 350 million Africans are basically unbanked. So we actually need more fintech solutions that actually work for the average Nigerian. So this is why I believe that Palma Wallet is for the now and not for tomorrow, not for later. Palma Wallet is a solution that I believe is going to fly and that I believe is for the now. So I can say that you can actually bank on Palma Wallet to be the next big thing, basically.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love that. I don't know if you did that intentionally, a play on words, right? Bank on Palma. So, uh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
when you
Yeah.
bank on like you can rely on something, but then
Yeah.
banking the unbanked. So it's yeah, I love that, man. So if you're
Yeah,
not using that already, keep using that. That's great.
yeah.
All right, yeah. So guys, it's been a pleasure having you both on. Eugene, any final words from you? I know I asked Alex, but any final words from you before we wrap up?
Just wanted to say quickly, FIO support is coming very shortly in Palma Wallet.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. You've been a big advocate for FIO, getting us into different wallets, and glad you see the usability, solution there. And definitely, I know we don't have time to dive deep into tech, but when we have a chance, definitely love to learn more about the. It sounds like you used it for some unique things that we probably haven't even thought of, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Absolutely. All right. So, guys, Alex, Eugene, it's been a pleasure having you guys on. Thanks for joining today. And everyone, thanks for listening. And we'll catch you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
Take
Thank you.
care.